Welcome to the Conscious Hustler podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Hardin. I know being a leader takes stamina and constant self-reflection. In my double-decade career, I've gone from intern to CEO, launching hundreds of creator campaigns for Fortune 500 brands and building new businesses for creators to grow and scale. Along the way, I have met some of the most interesting people working behind the scenes who have pursued excellence in work and embraced personal growth as mindful leaders. This podcast is dedicated to lifting the veil on successful creative professionals, their mindset, their motivation, and their heart posture. Together in each episode, we will explore the tools you need to not only thrive in your business, but also nurture your soul. My intention is to help you confidently own your work and affirm your experience. If you like what you hear, don't forget to share this podcast episode with a friend, with a neighbor, with a coworker, and subscribe to our channel. Okay, let's get started. Oh man, what a year. We are on the edge of the year 2025 ending, and I gotta be honest, I fell all the way off with this podcast. I'm laughing to keep from crying because, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I had really good intentions of, having all of these episodes ready to go for the last bit of the year, and really fell off on that. Not really kicking myself in the shins for it. I still have access to the great content and it will come out. It will likely be coming out in January, but I do have to be honest with myself and, really just own the fact that I didn't do what I said I was going to do. However, that's not exactly what this conversation today is going to be about. Today, I want to have a solo episode talking about what it means to draw conclusions from tiny bits of facts. And this came to me because I was listening to a podcast, and there's a guy on there. His name is Gregory Walton, and he has a book called Ordinary Magic, and he talks about this term that he and his brother made up, which really just stuck to my bones because I realized how much I do this and how much I've gotten over doing this in the past. So it's called a Tiff bit, which is apropos considering my name is Tiffany, but it's called a Tiff bit, and it is tiny facts with a big theory. And so the idea is that most of us, we will create scenarios from small, insignificant, or seemingly insignificant facts that we just draw these theories or conclusions from. And so an example of that would be, and the most sort of realistic example that most of us has probably felt before, is when we're doing something and let's say we produce a project and we're really proud of it, and we give it to our boss or we give it to someone to review, and they don't really have a reaction to it, or they didn't email you back right away or whatever, and we decide that, oh, they didn't like it, or we decide that, oh, they must not care about me, otherwise they would have taken the time to actually read my materials and give me, thoughtful feedback, or, this person didn't text me back right away or email me back right away, and so therefore our relationship isn't as strong as I would like it to be. Now, we've all at some level have blown something a little out of proportion, but what it signals is that there's more room for us to grow in how we derive meaning from these moments. And in business, this is really something to explore, because in business, we are constantly looking at data to inform our strategies for our clients, right? but also we have to be able to look at data that informs how we perceive the world. And this is an opportunity for us to look at what is actually happening underneath the surface of these big theories that we're creating from very small facts. And if it creates a trigger in us, or if it creates an emotional um, reaction from us, then we owe ourselves the time and the reflection to figure out what about this is creating an emotion that I need to explore within myself. And I will tell you, as someone who deeply loves people and started my career as an assistant years ago, um, I had a very intense desire to perform and do well. And when I didn't, or when something didn't go the way I thought it ought to, I would make it, I would tell myself that it was because, um, you know, I wasn't smart enough or good enough, or something happened that did not put me in the best light. And now the problem with that is that you start training your mind when you go down that rabbit hole to think, oh, every time something negative happens, that's a part of the story that, you know, is evidenced by the narrative I created in my mind. That is a very dangerous path to be on, especially when you're a high performer, especially when you have dreams, especially when you're ambitious. And it can ultimately create a level of toxicity in you that, if you're not careful, you start to project that onto other people that you manage or that you may need to work with. And it can get really mucky and miry real quick. And the reason why I'm saying this is because everything that we do in business and who we show up to be in business is a reflection of our own personal development. And if we give ourselves the gift of taking the time out to explore our tidbits, our tiny facts and big theories, then we really start to understand how we can do a better job of mastering our mind, and therefore mastering our behaviors and our responses, so that we can become better leaders. This is a short, little bitty solo podcast moment, but I got so excited when I learned about this that I had to let you guys know. I will tell you, in the future, you will be getting more solo episodes from me, but let this be something that you take into your new year in terms of how you start to think about yourself and how you start to think about your tidbits, and where you could be drawing conclusions and drawing meaning from small facts that need further exploration. All right, y'all, I hope you have a great year this year, and I promise I'm going to do a lot better at delivering information, insights, and all the good juice from the Conscious Hustler podcast. Okay, that's it. Thank you for listening to the Conscious Hustler podcast. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to this channel, and feel free to reach out. I would love to hear from you. You can do so on LinkedIn or on Instagram. Just send me a DM. But until next time, keep listening, keep reaching out. We are in this together, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.